Welcome back to Around the Globe, where we break down the big stories that matter. Today we're looking at India's ambitious $23 billion plan to become a manufacturing powerhouse. A plan that was supposed to challenge China but has run into serious trouble. Despite high hopes and big promises, the reality is far from what was expected. So what went wrong? Let's break it down. 4 years ago, India launched the Production-Linked Incentive Scheme, or PLI, a program designed to boost local manufacturing and attract global companies. The goal was clear: increase manufacturing's share of the economy to 25% by 2025. The government offered financial incentives to companies that met production targets. This attracted major players like Foxconn and Reliance. On paper, this looked like a game-changing move. With China facing supply chain disruptions and global companies looking for alternatives, India had a golden opportunity. But fast forward to 2024, and the results tell a very different story. Out of the promised $23 billion, India has managed to distribute only 8% of the funds, just $1.73 billion. The reason? Many companies either didn't start production or met their targets but are still waiting for payments due to bureaucratic delays. According to government data, firms have only achieved 37% of the expected production output. And instead of manufacturing growing, it has actually shrunk from 15.4% of the economy to 14.3%. This raises the big question: if this massive initiative can't produce results, what can? The failure isn't limited to one sector. It spans across industries. In the solar industry, 8 out of 12 companies, including giants like Reliance and Adani, have fallen behind schedule. Reliance is projected to meet only 50% of its target by 2027. Adani? They haven't even acquired the necessary equipment. And the steel sector? It's not doing any better. Out of 58 approved projects, 14 have already been scrapped. The government, rather than addressing these shortcomings, has refused to extend deadlines, saying it would be unfair to companies that are still performing. But when a large portion of the program isn't working, is this really the right approach? One of the biggest roadblocks is India's infamous bureaucracy. Reports suggest that excessive paperwork, slow approvals, and complicated regulations have made it nearly impossible for companies to operate efficiently. Even industry leaders like Foxconn and Reliance, who expected smooth support, are stuck in a maze of red tape. While the government argues that some sectors, like pharmaceuticals and mobile phones, have benefited from the scheme, the numbers tell a different story. Of the $620 million paid out between April and October 2024, 94% went to just these two sectors. Meanwhile, industries like steel, textiles, and solar panels continue to struggle. What makes this failure even more significant is that India had a rare opportunity to establish itself as a serious manufacturing competitor. With China facing supply chain issues and global companies looking for alternatives, India could have positioned itself as the next big manufacturing hub. Instead, countries like Vietnam and Indonesia have gained ground. They are attracting factories and investments that could have gone to India. And to add to the challenges, international trade pressures are mounting. The United States has raised concerns over India's trade policies, and potential tariffs could further weaken its already struggling export sector. With deadlines approaching and results falling short, the future of the PLI scheme is uncertain. Some suggest shifting to a reimbursement model, where companies get support upfront rather than waiting for production-based incentives. But if the current system is already struggling, can a new approach really turn things around? India aimed to rival China in manufacturing, but instead, it's facing setbacks that could take years to recover from. The potential is there, but without structural changes, streamlined policies, and faster execution, this initiative may end up being remembered as a missed opportunity rather than a game changer. What do you think? Can India turn this around, or has this program already failed beyond repair? Let's discuss in the comments. This is Around the Globe signing off.